Hey everybody, welcome to Butt Rock in Review, your one-stop shop for butt rock. I am apparently Harry Potter, and today we are looking at 3 Days Grace by 3 Days Grace. Now, I've never really listened to a full album from this band. I really only know their singles. So today we're going to dive in and see what they're all about. Track number 1 is Burn. Now this is one I didn't really listen to until my mom showed it to me a couple years ago, and it's been one of my favorites ever since. I love this opening riff, especially the way the drums keep switching it up. The verse has a dark, uneasy feeling to it, and the chorus is just perfectly catchy and full of energy. The bridge is like a quick and dirty mix of all the riffs we've heard so far, and it's just a great way to end a song. Track number 2 is Just Like You. This is one of their big singles. Of course, I know this song. It starts with a powerful yet simple and iconic riff. The vocals in the verse have a lot of oomph, and it leads into a chorus that is pretty simple but pretty effective. And it leads into a great bridge. I saw this singer's new band play this live once, and it just fucking blew my mind. I was not expecting it, and it was great. Track number 3 is I Hate Everything About You. This is another one of their big songs. I love this riff so much, especially the way that all the instruments come in is just beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, the vocals in the verse are just so smooth and just The song cuts out just for a second before the chorus is so they can beat the shit out of the snare drum, and it is awesome. The chorus itself is musically great, but pretty repetitive, and the bridge is just more of the same. Track number 4 is Home, and how many hit singles are on this album? This song has another great intro riff, and the vocals in the verse are just beautiful. And the way that the verse keeps switching between the sung parts and this hammer-on heavy riff is awesome. The first half of the chorus is pretty sweet, but the second half pretty much just consists of the word home like 10 times. It gets really old really fast. I like that they bring the energy down just to build up to that final chorus. Overall, this is a pretty good song. Track number 5 is Scared, and this riff feels like one of those riffs you come up with that's fun to play but really has no place in a song, and they based an entire song around it. It's not really bad, it just doesn't really fit in. The vocals in these verses are just perfect. He has just the right amount of grit and emotion to pull this off. Also, the bass is great. The chorus itself isn't bad, it's just underwhelming after those verses. The song cuts the energy almost completely out before going straight back into the chorus. Track number 6 is Let You Down. Now this is one I'd never heard before and is now my favorite. I love the weird ass timing of the drum and bass driven verses, and the vocals for it are just weird and beautiful. The chorus is basically the same, just a little more angry, and they add a nice start and stop at the end of each line. It's really good. I love the switch of the bridge. My only complaint about this song is the let you downs at the end are whispered instead of screamed, and it sounds like they should have been screamed. It's a weird choice. Track number 7 is Now or Never. It's got a pretty sung intro, followed by a guitar riff that is just the melody that he just sang. The verses are really pretty basic, especially after the last song, and the chorus really follows the same bland formula. This sounds like maybe the second or third song written by a garage band. It's not bad, it just sounds like everything would be your first instinct of what to put in a song. It's very play by numbers. Track number 8 is Born Like This, and this intro is nu metal as fuck, and I'm digging it. The verses, again, have this weird timing, and every instrument's just sort of doing its own thing. The vocals here sound like if the guy from Bush and Corey Taylor somehow had a baby. It's a weird mix, but it's actually pretty good. The chorus goes straight back into the new metal feeling. The bridge has sort of an incubus-y vibe that leads into a corn-like version of the chorus. I'm sorry I'm just using other bands to describe this, but it's the most accurate way I can think of. I didn't expect any of this from 3 Days Grace, and I'm so glad it's here. Makes me appreciate the band even more. Track number 9 is Drown. It's got a okay main riff, but this song is just boring. It feels like filler on a Breaking Benjamin album. Track number 10 is Wake Up, and I like this verse. The vocals and guitar blend well together, and the bass tone is just about perfect. The chorus suffers from the same garage band bland simplicity that Now or Never had, and overall this song's not very good. Track number 11 is Take Me Under, and this opening verse is just beautiful, especially when all the instruments come in. I never really realized how good this guy's voice is, or even how good the drummer is. The guy's killing these drums on this album. The chorus is basically following the same formula the choruses for the rest of the album do, where he just sort of sings whatever the guitar is playing, but it works. The bridge is great, and it leads into the best version of the chorus until the song just ends as it began. Track number 12, the final track, is called Overrated. It starts off instantly with this awesome riff that almost immediately drops all of its energy out to become a really slow corn verse, basically. The vocals here are perfectly dark, sad, and like a tinge of anger. The chorus is basic but effective, and it really helps to break up the low energy verses. The bridge brings back that intro riff, and again, he is whispering instead of screaming. It's such a weird choice. Like, at this point, it makes me think, like, is he not comfortable screaming? That seems weird with his raspy voice. Either way, if they intended to whisper, then that's a weird choice. If he couldn't scream, then why include it? I don't know. It's weird. Still a good song, though. Alright, so that was 3 Days Grace by 3 Days Grace. I had a lot of fun listening to this album. So I'm going to give this album a 7.5 out of 10. This would have easily been an 8 or even an 8.5, but Now or Never, Drown, and Wake Up were just boring songs that sort of took away a lot from it. Also, 3 Days Grace tends to suffer from that same thing Breaking Benjamin did on Dear Agony, where the guitars are so cleaned up sometimes they don't even sound like a guitar. You get used to it. It's not a deal breaker. It's just weird. Also, I want to show you guys something that my parents got me for my birthday. Oh yeah, I get to be a hipster now. Alright, so what I'm planning on doing with that is something that I used to do when I lived with my parents and use their record player, which is go to like a Half Price Books or a record store, find really cheap records with great cover art, take them home, and find out what it is. Doesn't matter the band, this is more about finding new things that I never would have listened to, mostly based on price and cover art. Only now I'm gonna review them on camera for you. Now there's a reason for me to do it other than my pointless need to collect and hoard things. Anyway, this has been Butt Rockin' Review. I'm Tim, and I'll see you next time.